Okay, so before we get started downloading and then installing Maverick Render, the first thing is the hardware that you need. So the important thing is that Maverick runs on Nvidia-based GPUs. So it doesn't use the CPU of your computer, it uses a graphics card for performance reasons. And that's the reason why it can actually render in the background whilst you continue using Matrix Gold or Matrix or Rhino or whatever other software you want to use whilst it's rendering your scene in the background. The important thing to note is that there are a number of very entry-level NVIDIA graphics cards that are not supported. But basically, if you've got a NVIDIA card, a 10 series card, which is probably a 5, maybe 6-year-old card, up to the more recent 3000 series card, you'll be fine. The earlier model NVIDIA cards like the 1040, the 1050, the 1060, the 1080 Ti are all supported. Newer cards like the 20 series, the 2080, the 2070 series cards, as well as the newer 30 series cards, 3060, 3070, 3080, 3090, the TIs. So the more recent cards from the 2000 series upwards do support RTX acceleration. So you'll see a considerable performance boost using those cards as compared to the older 10 series cards. Anyway, just check that first before you download, because otherwise the software will not run. And the second most important thing is you need to be running Rhino on a Windows-based PC. It doesn't run on a Mac. So the first thing you want to do is go to our website, and I'll put the page up here on screen. I'll also put a link in the comment section of the video. Go to our page and download the 30-day trial. First, you'll need to enter your name and email address. It will take you to the download page. And on the download page, you'll be able to download Maverick Studio, and that will download as a 30-day trial. Just be aware it's a very big file. It's over 1.6 or 1.5 gig in size, and install that. Once that's downloaded, also download the Rhino-Maverick Bridge. Okay, that's required for transferring documents directly from Rhino or Matrix Gold directly across into Maverick. Once you've downloaded those, first you want to install the Maverick Studio. So just double click on that to launch it, and it will start up the installer. Just be aware that if Windows doesn't recognize the installer, you'll have to just tell it to ignore and forget the fact that it thinks it's a virus, and just override that and start the installer, and just follow the steps to complete the installation. Once that's done, you'll have a little icon on your desktop for Maverick Studio. So just first double click that just to launch it. It just makes sure the software is installed and your card's recognized. If it doesn't install or load correctly, you may need to download the current and most recent version of your video drivers, because you may find that your video drivers are out of date. Okay, so you should be greeted with a large black screen like this with lots of information on it, but just make sure it loads and installs correctly. And the second thing to install is the Rhino-Maverick Bridge. So again, just double click on that to start the installer. Just follow the steps to install that. Just make sure that either Matrix or Matrix Gold, or Rhino for that matter, are closed before you run that bridge. And yeah, just complete the installation, and I'll show you now what to do once that's installed. Okay, so once you've installed those two bits of software, you'll need to open up your CAD software. And in this case, I'm in Matrix Gold, and it's the same in Rhino. You just type toolbar, and the screen will pop up, and we're going to go browse for the toolbar for Maverick. So go to File and Open, and go to the appropriate folder for the version of Rhino that you're using. In my case, it's Rhino 7. And it's not under plugins, it's under UI for user interface. So double click on the UI folder, and in the plugins folder in UI, you'll find Maverick. It'll be either Maverick _6 or 7. And open the RUI file there and click OK. And you'll see that you've got this little toolbar that's loaded at the top of your toolbars here. And it allows you to quickly send a document over from your CAD software that you're drawing and across into Maverick. So let's just have a look and show you how that works. So with the drawing open, you just click to send the document to Maverick Studio. And it's actually starting up Maverick. And now it's sending it over and it's launching. So this is the default look of my file. It doesn't look too interesting, but the nice thing is it does preserve metal and gem layers, etc. across from your CAD software. So if you've got any layers in your drawing, they'll come across. Anything that's got content in it will come across. Great, so that's it for installing the toolbar and Maverick on your computer for the trial. And in the next video, we'll look at a basic walkthrough where we'll look at applying materials and setting some backdrops to get you started with some great photorealistic renders. All right, we'll see you in the next video.